Have you ever heard of a diet that never fails? I know you may be disillusioned by your previous dieting attempts to lose weight, but I'm going to be talking about a totally different kind of a diet in this video. And if you stick with me to the end, I can tell you, you will get a lot of value out of it. Hi. My name is Dr. Arun Dheer. I'm a gastrointestinal and a weight loss surgeon, but more importantly, I'm a student of life. I love to dive deep into the concepts of the mind-body connection that allow us to live better quality, better functioning lives. Because if we live better quality lives, we can be of more service and more value for others who we associate with and who we serve. Now, today's video is going to be based on a book by Dr. Emmett Fox, who was an amazing teacher and an author who lived from 1886 to 1951. And I'm going to be talking about, yes, you heard me right about diet, but it is not a diet for weight loss. It is a mental diet. See, when we talk about diet, the first thing that comes in our mind is what kinds of foods, what kinds of calories, the categories, because it's all related to our weight, because that's how we have been conditioned. Every week or so, there is a new diet in the market, the paleo, the keto, the 5 and 2, the CSIR, you name it, But here is what I want to say. The diet that is related to food only affects your weight. Whereas the diet that I'm talking about, that actually Dr. Fox spoke about, and I give him the credits for the information in this video, is a mental diet which has the ability to affect every area of your life, your health, your finances, your relationships, your work, more importantly, the way you live life every day. See, we all think that the function, whenever we bring up the concept or the name of mind or anything that is mental, the image of the brain comes up. Well, the key thing to understand is that the main function of your brain is to think, is to make decisions for you. And the key thing is the quality of your thoughts are going to determine the quality of your life. The thoughts that you thought yesterday, months ago, years ago, have culminated into where you are today, who you are today. Now, if you change your thoughts of today, how you're thinking today, that is going to start changing your future. See, thought is the real creative force. You cannot have one kind of thought and have another kind of environment. No, it doesn't happen like that. The kind of mental food that you feed yourself determines whether you are in a state of, as Dr. Fox mentions, habitually happy. Cheerful is the word that he uses. Or are you in always a perpetual low state of low-spirited, fearful or doubtful thoughts? So he talks about this mental food determines your mood. I've made a video on how good food can lead to a good mood, or how your food affects your mood. But what Dr. Fox talks about as well is the mental food that you are feeding yourself. If you give good mental food, you are going to have a good mental mood. And that is what is going to determine your attitude. Now, here are the 3 practical tips that I got from reading his book, which is called A 7-Day Mental Diet. I'd urge you to get this book. It's available free on the internet, and it's a very easy, short read. But here are the 3 key things that he talks about. The first thing, and I've put it down as 3 R's. The first R is resolve. You have to take control of your thoughts. For a period of 1 week, that's what Dr. Fox recommends, that for a period of 1 week, just focus on one habit. Everything else is secondary. That habit could be that I want to only entertain good thoughts, uplifting thoughts, thoughts that bring me joy. Or it could be that this week I am going to focus only on eating healthy things without really counting the calories. I could be having fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whatever works for you. Or it could be that I'll focus on this one habit of getting up in the morning and not checking my social media and just doing something like reading, meditating, going for a walk or gardening. That's one habit that you will focus on, and nothing else, no other thing that you will allow is just the one thing that you are working on. Second R is that of refraining. Refraining means do not entertain any negative thoughts. Now, I'll tell you a small story about this, because how I imbibed this concept was that negative thoughts will come into your mind. Negative ideas will come into your mind by way of your workplace, where you work. They will just, but if you do not entertain them, and I'll tell you what happened very recently was that in the place where I live, somebody knocked on my front door. I wasn't expecting a friend or anybody that I knew. They knocked on the door and they asked me whether there was a room that was available for them to stay or rent. Now, that was a very odd thing. Nobody knocks on the door and says like this. And I said, no, thank you, and I closed the door. And then I thought about it. This is what it means when a thought comes into your mind, you don't entertain them. You only entertain your friends, your family, or your acquaintances who you want to welcome into your house. The same thing applies to when a thought knocks on the door of your mind. You choose what you want to let come in or not. And that's the key thing of refraining. And the last and the most important thing is that of reflection. By reflection, I mean you have to keep this idea of what you're working on to yourself. You're not going to share it with anyone. And if you feel the need to reflect, or if you feel the need to share, try and reflect it on a notebook or on a journal or a diary that stays just with you. So those are the three things that Dr. Fox talks about in his book, The 7-Day Mental Diet. I truly believe that if you start focusing on what you think about most of the time, you are going to change your reality. That's why they say thoughts become things. Choose the good ones. That's a quote by Dr. Mike Dooley. And I truly believe that this has the ability to shape and design your future the way you want it. I wish you all the very best. Take care until my next video.